Before I get into the meditations, wanted to offer a couple of thoughts about prayer. For those of us who grew up in the church, prayer can maybe have a certain way that it needs to look like, and I think often we think about praying with words or reciting prayers, things like that. I hope that you begin to experience prayer as simply attention or intention. So paying attention to something or setting an intention. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. And a lot of times what we're doing here is a prayer of attention. We're paying attention to what's going on in our bodies, how God might be moving through us, the Spirit of God might be moving in us, paying attention to the emotions that arise that we know God's given us in these human bodies that are very good. And this morning we're going to be doing more of that, paying attention. And it might be open to you to set an intention for this time. We're going to be talking about desires. So both the desires that God has for us, the desires that we see Jesus having for us and for himself, but also the desires that are very good and deep and placed in us by God. So attention and intention are there for us today. And I think because many of us have church baggage, I'm going to offer some theological assumptions to help us get through that today. And if it's something that doesn't ring true or doesn't feel right, maybe you can go along with the theological assumptions this morning and just see where it takes you. Of course, you can leave it where it stands, but I've got 3 for us. First one is that you are loved right now as you are, exactly as you are. That is our baseline. When I went through the Ignatian exercises, that was the thing that hit me the hardest, was starting from a place of being loved, not working to a place of getting loved by God and then moving on from there. So you are loved as you are right now. Then when we pray, and really always, that we are in God's long and loving gaze. God's loving gaze is always looking at us. And it's never anything but loving. And then lastly, this might be the stretch for today, is that the desires that are in you are good and they are placed there by God. For many of us who grew up in things like purity culture or even just conservative religion, our desires were things to be feared or things to like work around or to forget about or change in some way. But we're going to do that theological assumption today, is that our desires are good and they're placed there by God. And this is, I want to read something real short and real quick. This was from the Ignatian exercises, and then we'll get into the scripture. But just to further flesh that out, that our desires are good. So this is a paraphrase of some Saint Ignatius's words. God, our Creator and Lord, writes their hopes into our desiring. If our hearts are made for God, then God has planted deep, deep desires for the God self into our hearts. If God's command is that we love one another and do justice to all, then deep in ourselves burns a passionate desire to do those things. And filling those desires will make us beatifically happy. So think the Beatitudes. It'll make us happy. Because of this, we keep asking God for what we want in prayer and through any of our spiritual exercises. Let's hit that again. If God's command is that we love one another and do justice to all, then deep in ourselves burns a passionate desire to do those things. And filling those desires will make us happy. I'm going to start with a passage from John 17 where we actually see some of Jesus' desires being named and being pointed out. It's funny, the heading of the passage is just Jesus prays, which is great. But before I read that, I'll read it 3 times with a few prompts, and we'll sit with it. But I'll start a timer and just settle in however is comfortable for you. Start just taking some deep breaths, being open, being curious to what the Lord has for us today. And if it's comfortable to you, you can close your eyes or sit on the floor if you need to. Start by just taking some deep breaths, drawing your attention inward to how your body feels, what's going on in your mind, maybe what emotions are already there today. Just breathe into that and be open and curious to what this experience will be. God, thank you for your long and loving gaze that's always looking at us. May we experience that love right now. The first time through reading this, I'd like you to listen for the words that could be desire words or wanting words or hope words. And this is Jesus praying. I'm not praying only for them, but also for those who believe in me because of their word. I pray, I want that they will be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. I desire that they also will be in us, so that the world will believe that you sent me. I've given them the glory that you gave me so that they can be one, just as we are one. I'm in them and you are in me, so that they will be made perfectly one. Then I hope that the world will know that you sent me and that you have loved them just as you loved me. Father, I want those you gave me to be with me where I am. Then they can see my glory, which you gave me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Let's sit with that passage just for a moment. Think about the desire words that you heard. I pray, I want, I hope, I desire. Just take note of the words or phrases that stick with you, that your heart is remembering right now. Now, the second time reading this, I'd like you to pay attention to what it feels like to hear someone desiring for you, to hear Jesus desiring for you. I'm not praying only for them, but also for those who believe in me because of their word. I pray they will be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. I pray that they also will be in us, so that the world will believe that you sent me. I've given them the glory that you gave me, so that they can be one just as we are one. I'm in them, and you are in me, so that they will be made perfectly one. Then the world will know that you sent me, and that you've loved them just as you loved me. Father, I want those you gave me to be with me where I am. Then they can see my glory, which you gave me because you loved me before the creation of the world. So sit with Jesus' prayer and ask yourself, just notice what it feels like to hear someone desire something for you. someone to want or to hope something for you. What does that feel like? Now, this last time through, I'd like you to listen for God's desire for you. What are you hearing God's desire for you? I'm not praying only for them, but also for those who believe in me because of their word. I pray they will be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. I pray they also will be in us, so that the world will believe that you sent me. I've given them the glory that you gave me, so that they can be one just as we are one. I'm in them, and you are in me, so that they will be made perfectly one. Then the world will know that you sent me, and that you have loved them just as you have loved me. Father, I want those you gave me to be with me where I am. Then they can see my glory, which you gave me because you loved me before the creation of the world. So listen for that as you're playing it over in your mind and your heart. What are you hearing God's desire for you is? And it may not be something that was literally on the page there. Be curious enough to listen beyond those words that I read. What do you hear God's desire for you is? As you're sitting with that question, notice how your body's responding to that too. You're feeling any tension? Are you relaxing in certain areas? Just notice and breathe into that sensation. We're getting closer to the end of the time. Maybe there's some questions you have. If there's something you've noticed, but it's not quite clear to you, or you don't have a feeling or words for it, just ask the divine for some clarity in this moment. Perhaps a gift of an invitation or clarity. In the last minute here, perhaps you can find some gratitude within yourself, whether it's for yourself sitting through this meditation, or the space that you're in, the people around you, the love that you feel, or for the desires of God. Offer that gratitude. Take your time coming back, and we'll check in with each other. Okay, so just remember that theological assumption that we're going with today, that God has placed desires in us. God has desired things for us, placed them in us. They are very good. Hang on to that with all your might. Everything else, just relax into, okay? Start our timer again. Again, take a few deep breaths if you need to. Settle in. Close your eyes if it's comfortable, if it's accessible. Get your coffee and tea. So we'll start with the big question. What do I desire? Ask yourself that question and pay attention to what it does to your body or to your mind. What do I desire? So in asking yourself that big question, what do I desire? You can even swap out the words. What do I hope for? Or what do I want if desire still isn't accessible for you? And just notice the emotions that come up, how your body feels. As desires come up for you, be curious about them. Just hold them gently in your hand. Hold them gently in your mind. Be curious about it. Wonder at it. If there's any judgments coming up, let those go. Let that melt into curiosity. Let's go a little deeper with the desire. If there's multiples that you're holding in front of you, maybe just pick one. And let's wonder about that desire. What's underneath it? What's deeper beyond that desire? Since if you're noticing you want more coffee, what's behind that? Are you sleepy? Do you want more rest? Feeling. If you're thinking about your partner, are you desiring deeper connection, physical touch or intimacy? Desire for money, perhaps. Maybe there's desire for security or for generosity, or you name it. Be curious about that desire and wonder what's beneath it, what's underneath. As you're holding this desire and you're wondering at it, what does it feel like to name it and to hold it in your mind? How does your heart feel? How does your body respond to naming this desire? Feel free to keep sitting with that feeling if you'd like to. And another question you can also sit with is, what does it feel like to know that God placed that desire there within you? Or what does it feel like to know that God desired this for you first, before you desired it for yourself, before you named it for yourself? Again, feel free to sit with whatever questions you're sitting with right now, or sensations or emotions. If you want to move a little deeper, maybe you wonder, is there an invitation here for you? As you're looking at and wondering about this desire, is there an invitation for you? Perhaps to double down on the desire, what do you want to do with this desire, if anything? Wherever you are, just remember to keep breathing deeply, remembering that you're in the loving gaze of God, in the presence of people who love you. For this last minute or so, let's end like we did the last one, with gratitude. Perhaps you can find some gratitude to offer to yourself, to your neighbor, to this space, to the land that we're on, to the divine. To yourself for desiring and allowing yourself to name it. Take your time coming back again, and we'll check in with each other.